بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين, and may the peace of God be with you, my friends. So Moses, after receiving the assurances from God that he's going to expand his breast, he's going to provide him with his brother Aaron as a helper and supporter, and also he's going to make his mission easy for him, and he's going to untie the knot from his tongue. Now it's time to begin the journey, begin the mission. So he went to the palace of Pharaoh. Finally, was able to make it. They gave him permission to stand before Pharaoh. And this encounter with the Pharaoh is mentioned in many chapters in the Quran. One of them in Surah Al-A'raf. وَقَالَ مُوسَى يَا فِرْعَوْنُ إِنِّي رَسُولٌ مِّن رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. You know me very well. You know my childhood. I'm not someone who's unknown to you or ambiguous to you. You know me. Now I come with a message from the Lord of the universe, the Lord of the worlds. إني رسول من رب العالمين حقيق على ألا أقول على الله إلا الحق. Truly I would not say something against God, God's will. Whatever I am going to say is the truth. قد جئتكم ببينة, and I have a proof with me. When I say I'm the messenger of God, you're going to ask me about the proof. I'm ready to show you the proof. ببينة, proof. من ربكم, and this proof is from my Lord. I am only executing it, performing it. Otherwise the proof, the origin of the proof is from the Lord. فَأَرْسِلْ مَعِيَ بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ. So he wanted him to do two things. First of all, to believe in God. Because Pharaoh, he kept saying to his community, يَا أَيُّهَا الْمَلَأُ مَا عَلِمْتُ لَكُم مِّنْ إِلَهٍ غَيْرِي. There is no other than me as a Lord in this universe. I am the only Lord in this universe. And therefore, and in another verse he says, فَقَالَ أَنَا رَبُّكُمُ الْأَعْلَى. I am the highest Lord in this universe. I am your Lord, the highest. So number one, he asked him to believe in the Lord, to accept the Lord's unity and tawheed and monotheism, and to stop saying, I am the Lord. Because you are only a human being. Where is your qualities? First of all, what is the difference between us and God? What is the difference? Some people say God is bigger. Bigger in what? In size? He's bigger in size. God has no size. Bigger in his head, in his hands. He doesn't have a head. He doesn't have hands. He doesn't have physical structure. Or some people say, well, God has a bigger knowledge. Bigger knowledge in what? It means that this subject, you know 20% about it and God knows 100%? No, this is not the case. It's something vastly different. First of all, one of the differences between God and humans, there are millions of them. One of them is God is sufficient. God is free of all needs. يا أيها الناس أنتم الفقراء إلى الله والله هو الغني الحميد. He doesn't have any need for anyone. No need for anything. He's self-sufficient. While we are not self-sufficient, even the rich among us are not self-sufficient. Even the powerful among us are not self-sufficient. They all need. They all have needs. They cannot survive without fulfilling their needs. So this is one difference. The second difference is that God is self-subsisting. Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayy al-qayyum. The living, the self-subsisting. What does self-subsisting mean? It means me and you, we need the help of others to continue our life. Where God does not need the help of others. He doesn't need the help of others. And in philosophy they study that God doesn't even need himself, let alone us. So God is truly self-sufficient. What does it mean God is knowledgeable? Is his knowledge compared to our knowledge? Is there any way to compare them? No. No. Our knowledge, we are born with no knowledge. And as we start living and going to school and interacting with our friends and neighbors and parents, we start learning slowly, slowly. We pick up things. But God was learned from the first day where there is no first day for him. And God's knowledge would never increase or decrease. Would never. It's the same. His knowledge is the same. It's so vast. We cannot say yesterday God did not know about this incident, today he knows about it. That doesn't happen for God. It happens for us. We keep learning. We keep discovering things. Last month, maybe we did not know certain things. This month we know them. Next month, maybe we're going to learn even more. But that does not happen for God. And in philosophy, they say, صِفَتُهُ عَيْنُ ذَاتِهِ. There is no separation. His attribute is inseparable from his essence. Inseparable. Meaning, when he existed, when God existed from day one, where there is no day one for him, he always existed. He's eternal. He was knowledgeable. So nothing happened to his knowledge. No increase, no decrease. Same thing with his power. He was always powerful, always mighty. His might would not change. Neither it will increase, nor it will decrease. It's the same. For us, it's different. So he asked him to believe in God, because you are not the Lord. You are a false deity. So this was his first request. The second request, he said to him, فَأَرْسِلْ مَعَنَا بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ وَلَا تُعَذِّبْهُمْ. So send forth with us the children of Israel and do not persecute them. Meaning that I want you to set them free. Rather than keeping them in captivity, I want you to set them free. And do not persecute them. وَلَا تُعَذِّبْهُمْ. قَدْ جِئْنَاكَ بِآيَةٍ وَالسَّلَامُ عَلَى مَنِ اتَّبَعَ الْهُدَى. So eloquent when he says this. So these were the two requests. Believe in the unity of God, the existence of God, and he is the superpower, not you, Pharaoh. Second, release the children of Israel from captivity. But what was his answer and his reaction? Imam Ali alayhi salam in Nahj al-Balagha has a beautiful account of what happened. He said that Musa and وَلَقَدْ دَخَلَ مُوسَى بْنُ عِمْرَانَ وَمَعَهُ أَخُوهُ هارون على فرعون وعليهما مدارع الصوف وبأيديهما العصي فشرط له إن أسلم بقاء ملكه ودوام عزه فقال ألا تعجبون من هذين يشرطان دوام العز وبقاء الملك وهما بما ترون من حال الفقر والذل. They both came carrying their canes with them, wearing something very humble, a dress which is very humble and expensive. And they stood before Pharaoh and they said, listen, if you want your kingdom to continue, nothing happens to you, then you have to believe in God. So he turned to his aides, senior aides who were sitting around him. He said, look at those two guys. They are barefoot. They don't even have food to eat. And they have no followers. They have no influence. They have no power. And they are asking me to follow them, to listen to them. Look at how they are deprived. بما ترون من حال الفقر والذل. They are humiliated because they don't have money, no wealth, no following. And they are deprived, hungry. They want me to listen to them. Of course they wanted him to listen to them because they had something bigger than wealth and something bigger than power, and that is faith. That is faith in God. God was with them. إِنَّنِي مَعَكُمَا أَسْمَعُ وَأَرَى. Don't worry. Go forth. And don't be hesitant. I am with you. Asma, I hear and I see. This is your weapon. When God is with you, that's it. You have everything. You don't worry. And there was a long discussion between Moses and Aaron on the one side and Pharaoh on the other side. One of these discussions, he said to Moses, قال ألم نربك فينا وليدا ولبثت فينا من عمرك سنين. Didn't we raise you among us as a child and you lived among us for many years? Of course, yes, I lived with you. What does that mean? It means if I lived with you in the same house, I have to share the crimes with you. I have to endorse you for every crime you commit. I have to agree with your falsehood. Is that what you want me to do? Yes, I was with you, you raised me. But that does not mean that I have to agree with every corruption, every act of corruption and every act of falsehood. And then he said to him, وَفَعَلْتَ فِعْلَتَكَ الَّتِي فَعَلْتَ. And you did what you did, وَأَنْتَ مِنَ الْكَافِرِينَ. Kafirin here does not mean non-believers or disbelievers. It means the ingrats. It means those who don't appreciate. I raised you in my palace, I gave you my food, I took care of you, I spent time with you, and then you turn against me. This is what he meant. And this is right, of course, because you are tyrant. You are tyrant. Today, this is a lesson for the children, for the young ones. If your parents are tyrants, corrupt, they commit crimes, and they spend money on you, they take care of you. It does not mean that you take the money, enjoy the life, and you say nothing to them. You must say something. But be polite, of course. Be polite. But it doesn't mean that if your father is spending money on you and taking care of you, and you live in his house, even when you see he does something wrong, you remain silent because he spent money on you. He took care of you. Doesn't mean that. It means that you tell him you are wrong, you are mistaken, but say it in a nice way, in a respectable way. Don't insult your parents. But again, at the same time, tell them what they did was not right, was not good. They have to change. So Moses answered him. He said, قَالَ فَعَلْتُهَا. Yes, indeed, I don't deny what I did, meaning the killing of the Copt, who was killed, murdered. قال فعلتها إذن وأنا من الضالين. I was ignorant. I did not realize that it would lead into the death of that person. I did not intend to kill him. All what I intended to do is to push him away from the Israelites, but not to kill him. My intention was not. This is the meaning of وَأَنَا مِنَ الضَّالِّينَ. ضَالِّين does not mean here in this context misguided, being misguided. It means being ignorant of the consequences, not knowing what will happen to him. I did not know that he's going to die. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. I didn't know. But it happened that when I struck him with my fist, he died. Probably he wasn't healthy enough, or he wasn't exercising. I don't know. فَفَرَرْتُ مِنْكُمْ لَمَّا خِفْتُكُمْ. So my intention was not to kill this guy. It was just mere discipline, just to discipline him. But then when it happened, I had to flee. Because you were looking after me, you were running after me to arrest me. لَمَّا خِفْتُكُمْ فَوَهَبَ لِي رَبِّي حُكْمًا. The result of fleeing my community and going to Madian, God has given me حُكْمًا وَجَعَلَنِي مِنَ الْمُرْسَلِينَ. God has endowed me with this responsibility, invested me with this mission. Now, between theologians, Muslim theologians, there is a debate whether a prophet can commit a sin or not. Some of them, they say, during his mission and his ministry, he cannot commit a sin. But before that, it's okay for him to commit a sin. Before God sends him as a messenger, it's okay for him to commit a sin. But others say no. Even before his ministry, he should not commit a sin. He has to have a clean record. However, this is a debate among theologians. When it comes to the isma, infallibility of the prophets. A prophet being inerrant, ma'soom, infallible, not committing a sin. There is a debate, long debate. We discussed this on Ahl al-Bayt TV maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And then he says to him, وَتِلْكَ نِعْمَةٌ تَمُنُّهَا عَلَيْهِ أَنْ عَبَّدْتَ بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ. O Pharaoh, Moses saying to Pharaoh, is this a blessing you recount to me that you have enslaved the children of Israel? You are telling me that we took care of you guys? You are not from this land, you came to this land, you are immigrants, and we took care of you. Is this something you consider, you recount as a blessing? But you didn't do well with them. You did not host them. You did not respect them. You used them as slaves. So don't tell me you are doing me a favor. You took my family and my community as slaves for your own material interests. So you did not do me any favor. And then he was telling him that it was because you enslaved the children of Israel, then all these things happened. My mother had to cast me into the river, and you picked me up and you raised me. So this is not a favor. If you hadn't been enslaving the children of Israel from the beginning, in the first place, all these subsequent things wouldn't have happened. But because of your crime, because of what you did. So there was a long debate. I will shorten it because we are coming to the end of this episode number 7. He said to the notables around him, Pharaoh, قال إن رسولكم الذي أرسل إليكم لمجنون. So whatever Moses said, it made sense. His argument was logical. But Pharaoh did not accept that. And rather than submitting to him and confessing and acknowledging what Moses is saying is right, instead, what did he say? He said, this messenger that he claims that he had been sent to you is possessed. La Majnoon. And this is something that almost all tyrants, when they are confronted with the reality, with the truth, with logic, and they cannot answer it, immediately they resort to what? To blaming and accusing the Prophet of being Majnoon, possessed. Not only Prophet, we see it in our daily life. Sometimes when you make sense in your argument makes sense to someone from the opposite side, and he cannot stand up to your argument, neither he can refute your argument, he would say, he's crazy. This person is crazy. And this is very easy for them to accuse. Very easy. And this accusation is the weapon used by those who are weak and insecure. By those who do not possess strong, reasonable, logical argument. When they collapse, they don't want to admit that we collapsed because our argument is false. They accuse that part and that side of being possessed. La Majnoon. And they said the same thing about Prophet Muhammad. His tribe, Quraysh, who knew very well that Muhammad is the most intelligent, most truthful. But when his message did not work for them and for their material interests, they accused him of being possessed. وَقَالُوا مُعَلَّمٌ مَجْنُونَ. He has been taught, he has been trained, he is possessed, and he has been taught all these things. But these accusations would not do good for the accusers. It will rebound upon them soon, as we're going to see, inshallah, in the continuation of these episodes. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
رمضان ليت